Oh, um, yeah. Welcome to my channel. Um, my name is Emmy. Oh my God. Yeah. So, um, I figured I would just kind of talk to you guys about some of the stuff that's been going on, um, like a couple updates and just stuff. Um, I got to change the subject for a moment. So I had some good stuff happen today. Um, I met up with the owners of Durango Botanicals, which is the CBD line that I've been raving about. Um, they gave me ridiculous amounts of goodies, like this right here, lavender hard lotion bar and a lemongrass one. They smell so good. They push up and you could just rub it on you. They smell so good, and they're made of, like, really, really similar ingredients to how I used to make toiletries for my kids. I used to make all their lotions and soaps and stuff because that's what I do. And then, I haven't gotten a chance to try it yet, but I don't know, maybe he was reading my mind because I literally was gonna order this last night. I just got distracted and didn't get a chance to. And I was also going to order soap. So I was like, I was gonna order that. They smell so good. And here's the thing. It's so beautiful because their mother makes this. Their mom makes this. It's like a very small company for now. And then he gave me a couple bottles of the different types of formulations for the CBD. And it was just like a really, really good talk, like really good talk. We could have probably spent hours there, like just talking to him. I swear to God. So, as you guys know, I've met several twins of mine, and, and maybe I shouldn't say that because he might watch this. He just felt very, very familiar, like, even parts of what he shared with how many siblings, English is not his first language. I was like, "Oh my god." Yeah, my husband was there too. My husband really liked them. He reminded my husband the owner reminded my, husband of, one of my recognized twins. So it was really crazy. He even gave me a shirt. Oh, he even knew my size. Okay. He gave me a shirt. I was like, "Yo, I don't even understand. I love all your stuff." So I came to the realization when we were staying in a part of New Mexico area months back. I kept driving past this like roadside farmers market. It's literally just a shack. And I kept telling my husband, like, we have to stop. I have to get something there. I have to get something there. And, it was really a very nagging, like, you have to stop. I have to get something there. And I came to the realization as I was talking to Steph, I realized, like, oh, I don't think I was there to get fruits and veggies because I was really disappointed with what they had there. I think I was there because I could feel your energy from the bottles. He grows them. He grows the hemp flowers himself. He grows them. And he's Blu-ray, not just any Blu-ray. He's Cloister. That's why that shit worked on me so well. It took away all my pain immediately. all my pain immediately. Hold on, guys. I know Michael's like pressuring me. Okay, my toilet paper. My nose has been running. Okay, so real talk time. I needed to. Oh, I wanted to get through this without crying. I was really trying just because, as fucked up as the situation is, there's just still so many things to be really grateful for, really beautiful things. But it just hurts beyond what I can hide effectively. So, about 2 weeks ago, I had no choice but to leave California. I just had no choice. And so I had to leave. And as many of you know, if you've been watching me for even just a few months, I'd been in California taking care of my brother. He has end stage heart failure. And long story short, my time in California was up and I had to leave and he couldn't come. And despite all the planning that we made, all that legwork to try and secure everything before I left, because it all was like within a matter of 48 hours, all of this happened. Um, all the plans just kind of fell apart. The person who was supposed to take care of him, that didn't work out. Logistics and all of that, it didn't work out. We tried really hard. It was costing about $120 a day just to get them to his motel room. So that didn't work out, and I had spoken to someone else to prep all his meals because his meals are so um he's very restricted on water and especially sodium. That could his heart is so weak it could really damage his heart more. And I did secure a really amazing person to cook all his food, but she's suspected to have COVID. And so now it's just been like days, maybe just a few days, and I've had to order him DoorDash. And within hours after eating, and I try and select the things that have the least amount of sodium, his belly swells and it becomes hard for him to breathe. And I know he can see me looking beyond what he's telling me. And he tries to tell me he's fine. He tries to tell me it's okay. And I feel so heartbroken. I prepaid a motel room for him near his hospital for a month before I left. He can't stay there. He can't stay there. End of December, December 30th. He called me at like 3 in the morning, confused. He was by himself. And he called me and he was confused. And I'm like, what's wrong? Before that, I should probably rewind. He stayed in the hospital for quite a bit, like almost 2 weeks. And, I had to leave before they would let him out. And they had let him out. Our brother in SoCal drove up with all his kids just for the night so that he could spend Christmas Eve with Jose. And Jose had just gotten released from the hospital the night before. So by the evening of Christmas Eve, he was back in the hospital again. He didn't even make it a whole 24 hours out of the hospital. He had reacted to his PICC line. They had already tried 3 times, and he just kept developing reaction after reaction. And the 3rd time after they released him, within 24 hours, he developed a staph infection. Within 12 hours, he was back in the hospital, and when they tested all his systems, um, he had sepsis. He had a blood infection at that point, and it was affecting all of his organs. That's how he spent Christmas Eve. And Christmas Day. And he got out before New Year's. So the day of New Year's Eve, he calls me at like 3 or 4 in the morning, confused. And I asked him what was wrong. Because they knew he didn't have anyone to care for him. While they were taking care of the sepsis, they drilled a hole in his chest to put a central line. That's a tube that goes from the outside of your chest and into your heart. And that's how it delivers the medicine. So they installed that, and while he was sleeping, he must have rolled over and the extension ripped out. And he woke up to a puddle of his own blood. Luckily, he listened to our other brother because he sleeps with no shirt. That night, he slept with a shirt on, and he woke up because he felt his shirt was wet. And he called me, and I FaceTimed him, and I saw blood all over the place. So I called the hotel lobby, and I asked them to call 911. Being as meticulous as I am, I keep a notebook of every single time he takes medication, every time there's some symptom, everything, his weight, everything. And I told him when the paramedics arrived, I'll just stay on FaceTime. I won't say anything unless they might want to know about your medication. And I watched 4 civil servants who are paid by my tax dollars treat my dying brother like shit immediately when they entered the room because of the location of the motel that I selected because I didn't know any better. They tried to convince him to just pick up the tubing that's now not sterile, reattach it, and go back to sleep. They didn't take any vitals. They didn't ask for any other symptoms. They kept telling him he was fine despite all the blood that was all over the room. And when he finally got agitated, they told him they would not provide him any medical services until he hung up on me. His legal power of attorney. That's not okay. That is not okay for any human being to not be treated with dignity. They didn't even buckle him into the gurney, and they were jostling it around. I have it all recorded. They didn't know. And after all that, he went back home to an empty motel room.
we're struggling, and I really try and not allow my personal stuff to come out in readings. I try to not let it affect how present I am for you guys. I'm just I can't have him stay there. I can't have him stay there. And I haven't been updating anyone because he doesn't want anyone's pity. He doesn't want you guys to feel as though you have to give to me so I can give to him, and I'm just like, "Just stop." And after that, after being treated like that by the paramedics, he's finally okay with me sharing and asking for help. So now I'm resharing his GoFundMe. If you guys can share it out. If you don't have the ability to donate any amount, sharing is just as appreciated. It is just as appreciated. It's just yes, please share the GoFundMe link wherever you can. You can tag me in it, do whatever you want. I've gone ahead I've gone ahead and I've chosen to become an affiliate of Durango Botanicals, and whatever sales comes from that goes directly towards his care. Right now, our goal is to generate enough to cover some sort of modest housing near near the heart failure clinic. Um, the hospital eventually was able to help me secure some charity channels to cover his medications. Um, with some of the funds that you guys donated to cover the medications, there was a little bit left over. I was able to get him a mobility scooter. And so I'm just needing to find him a place close enough where he can ride his scooter to the hospital, to the clinic. Um, he's constantly all by himself. His heart condition is severe enough that his heart could just stop at any moment. He won't even know. He won't even know what happened or anything. I do have a special code for the brand. It's just Emmy Evolving. If oh, hold on. Um, hold on. Let me find where I put that information. I'm so sorry, guys. My mind is just extra messy lately. Um, here you go, and then I'm gonna put it on the screen too. So I've just the shirt that I made on YouTube, I had made a post. It's the "I'm a fucking unicorn" t-shirt. All of that merchandise goes towards him and his care as well. Um, he does have um he does qualify for in-home service whatever benefits. Um, that's where the state will pay for someone to be his caretaker. Um, but that takes up to 6 weeks. So Up until then, you know, I am on FaceTime with him a lot. Every time it's time to take medications, I'm on FaceTime with him. Um, I just need him out of that motel. I just really need him out of that motel. When you are terminally ill and you call 911 for help and you have to worry that the EMT will harm you, that's a problem. That's a major problem. And for my sibling to say to me, to look me in the eyes on FaceTime and tell me, "I know what a black man in America feels like now." That breaks my heart. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "I know what it feels like now." We do have some leads on better housing. Um, we just kind of need to be patient and hang in there over the next few days. Just a lot of things will be coming forward for us. It's just we can't get him out of there fast enough. It's just in a really rough part of town. And there's just a lot of questionable activity that goes on in the parking lots. Um, just the other day, he was on his scooter, his mobility scooter. He has hemispheric blindness. Not only has his heart been through the ringer, he suffered 2 strokes. He's supposed to not be able to walk. He's walking fine. Within a few days of those strokes, back to back, after having a massive heart attack, he was walking. But he was on his scooter and he has a blind spot because of his blindness, and he accidentally ran over one of the bump thingies in the street that separates the lanes, and it tipped his scooter over. So it's just you guys can help by either donating to the GoFundMe. It's crawling on the bottom of the screen. Um, you can purchase CBD oil when you purchase using that link or the code Emmy Evolving on DurangoBotanicals.com. Not only as an affiliate will I receive a small commission, you guys will also receive 15% off of your order. In addition to that, I created a shirt on teespring.com. You can get to my Teespring store at the bottom of my videos on YouTube. That's my Teespring store. That's where all the merch is. Any merch you purchase from there, um, all of that goes towards his care as well. So we need enough for a year of housing, um, utilities, and to supplement in-home care. It's just a lot. It's a lot. Um, I'm sorry, I just posted that video without coming and talking to you guys. I'm so not badass. That was like my chicken shit way of not having to face all of this, but still asking for help. And that's not fair. That's not fair. You know, you can't just post the video and not have communication with the very people who continue to support. I did check into HUD. Um, I've exhausted quite a few different avenues. It's just the wait time is so long. It's just housing in California is insane right now. It's just insane. I did find a property. um I did find a property that's very promising for him. It's still within a reasonable amount. He potentially um has, a way of making things work out a little bit easier for him there. And it's just a matter of waiting the next few days to see how things kind of pan out. Um, he my brother is such a warrior. He wants to leave this life fighting. At no point does he want to feel like a burden to society. He doesn't want to go into any assisted living facilities. He feels strongly that it will kill his spirit. Um, I've tried talking him into it, and I can see I can see what he means. And you guys are probably like, why didn't you just bring him with you? So I had the hospital look into, because I love Colorado. I've been living in so many different parts of Colorado. I just love the whole fucking state. And they tried to find some sort of organization that can provide him the same service, because his Milvernone, that's a very new drug. It's very, very recent. I think his doctor said just within the past 12 months, they've approved that specific IV infusion drug to be allowed to leave the hospital. Up until that point, if you're on Milvernone, you have to stay in the hospital until you're off or you die, whichever one comes first. You don't get to go home. So that's a very specific thing, and not many regions can accommodate that type of care. In addition to that, the elevation in Colorado would have just keeled him over. So he can't go to Colorado with me. I can't stay in California because my kids get sick in California. They have very complex health as well. That's why we left California to begin with. Um, and it's just, we don't have anyone in the local area that would be able to serve as his caretaker, you know? Um, he's in Sacramento right now. Yeah, it's a new FDA approval. They've been using the drug for some time now for like end stage heart failure, but not at home. Not at home. That's still very, very new. It's just one of those things where his mindset alone can make miracles happen. At no point has he felt sorry for himself. I wake him up every morning. And for the past 2 weeks, every morning when I go to call him and he doesn't answer, my first thought is, "Oh my god, is it today? Is it today?" And then I hang up and I wait 5 minutes and I call him back again. And if he doesn't answer, I'm like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, no, not today. At least one more day." And then I call him again and I answer and I'm like, "You're a dick. You're a fucking dick." But he's okay. And no matter how tired he is, he pulls himself out of bed and he starts his IV infusions. And it's just been a really challenging few weeks. Just a very, very challenging few weeks for us. We're all doing as much as we can, and it'll work out. I know it will. I know it will work out. You know, he's not a quitter. He's not a quitter. The GoFundMe link is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Um, so yeah, it's just been really difficult. Really, really difficult. Um, Smarty girl, I don't think he has. It's hard for him to really face the state that he's in right now. He knows it's serious. He knows it's serious, but it's really hard for him to face it. And so a lot of his posts on social media are like old videos, old pictures, times when he was really happy, times where he felt really productive, um, funny things. I think um, a lot of the people who are very active on his social media don't really know the extent of what's going on. And I did tell him, like, you have to really let them know they think you're fine. You're really, really good at looking as though everything is fine, and he's not fine. He's not. And part of me wonders if it's not that he's ashamed. It's more that if he actually acknowledges it, then it gives his body permission to deteriorate more. It's just really hard in the 2 weeks I've been gone to see my once physically fit brother, to see his arms dwindle down. And I just looked at him the other day and I was like, "You need protein. I'm gonna find you protein powder. You need a lot more protein. Your body is cannibalizing your body." And he looked at himself in the mirror and he said, he hasn't been this size since he was in high school. So it's a lot. It's taking a huge toll on him. It's very hard for him to sleep. Once he finally does sleep, his water pills kick in and he's up every 30, 40 minutes. It's just really hard. Really, really hard. Yeah. I think after he fell off of his scooter and he recognized how frail his body is. His mind isn't frail. His body is. Um, I think after that, definitely he couldn't pretend anymore. And I told him, looking at you after you fell, you look like you were going into shock. If you didn't get any better within 15 minutes, I was calling 911. And he knew it too. He knew that his body was shutting down. I did find protein for him. I happened to come across some random brand at Walmart of all places, and each serving only has 50 milligrams of sodium. So That definitely works out. When I was cooking all of his food, not only was I restricting his sodium so much, like, so efficiently, I was pumping him full of, like, lean protein. And so, when you do certain ratios, if you understand macros when you're meal planning, I was doing all his macros to really support hypertrophy. And although he wasn't doing much activity because of his diet, we were able to maintain his muscle mass. And with me gone, um, his body's eating itself. It's just, it's hard. So his sodium was so perfectly maintained that when I was caring for him in California, um, he was taking one water pill like every other day, because anything more than that, he didn't have enough salt in his diet to hold the water. He would get dangerously dehydrated. And now, just to give you guys an idea of how bad it's gotten, he's taking 2 water pills a day. 2. And it's barely able to mitigate the amount of sodium. And I'm the one that's choosing his foods. I'm taking out the cheeses. I'm asking for no salt. I'm looking for, all these different options that are as low sodium as possible. And it's just hard. It's hard, but we get through things. We get through things. We'll get through this too. I just needed to find the courage to let you guys know that I need your help. He does trust me. He trusts me completely. Yeah, I'm getting in a stress, and it's just a lot. It triggered a trauma-induced accretion. I'm in another cycle of accretion. And it's a lot, but we get through it, right? We get through everything life throws at us. We keep our chin up and we keep walking. We keep walking and we keep trusting and we keep knowing that after a certain point, everything gets better. Everything turns around. Everything will stabilize. That is how life is. However far you're rocked one way, you will be swayed and rocked the other. We've encountered quite a few setbacks. And with these setbacks, I fully expect for the progress to be amplified. We just have to hang in there until it shifts back to a positive flow. We just have to. There's no other option. None. He will be in a house. He will have in home care. And he will begin his long journey to recovery. So, as of right now, the goal again is to be able to pay in advance for an entire year, for 12 months. That's usually the length of a lease, anyways, for 12 months, because he was told he needs to sit tight for 12 months. They have to they have to wait a year to put him on the list of applicants for a heart transplant. A year. He has to manage to stay alive for a year. So after that, then we see what happens. He has the fight to do it. He definitely has a determination. He has a warrior spirit. He has a lion's heart. Damn right. Damn right. Yeah, he does. He has a lot of faith in me. Yeah, he had to remind me the other day, "You did not adopt me. I'm not one of your babies." And I told him, "Shut up. Yes, you are." Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys can share this out, I just really need to get the word back out there. You guys have no idea how much you helped in that first month. You have no idea how much you helped. He left the hospital with his heart functioning at 7%. He should have died. He should have died several times. He survived a heart attack with a clot inside his heart the size of a quarter. The size of a quarter inside his heart chamber. Yet he didn't die. And within a few days, that clot was gone, and a secondary clot in a different part showed up. In addition to that, he suffered 2 strokes with no apparent deficiencies. One side's a little weaker, but you can't tell. You can't tell. Sepsis? I mean, he can't have coconut water. Coconut water, unfortunately, usually has sodium. So, yeah, it's been a rough couple months. It has. And I'm sorry I've kept you guys out of the loop. I'm sorry I've had to fake being fine. There was no need for any of you to struggle through the feelings right along with me. None. And he was no longer comfortable sharing details of his journey. He was improving. And I told him, we can't expect people to continue to help if we're not going to share what's happening. And he said, we're fine already. He's getting better. He's recovering. He's feeling stronger. And he was. That's why they tried to wean him off of his IV. And then while he was in the hospital for a trial wean, all hell broke loose at the house we were staying at. For no fucking reason. For no fucking reason. I don't give a shit what state I'm in. I will continue to take care of him in whatever way I can. No matter what. I will continue to. Whatever hoops I gotta jump through, for him I will. Absolutely. No hesitation. If I gotta sit up here and share all these things that I'm really not even comfortable sharing, fuck yes, I will. I don't have too much pride that I can't ask people who actually care to help me help him. That's fine with me. People can see this as whatever way they want. That's fine with me. As long as his need is known and reaches the people who are willing to help, who are able to help, that's fine with me too. That's perfectly fine. So it's just been a lot. It's been a lot. Um, but it's been good. That's right. That's what you do for the ones you love. And you guys, if you were to ask me what made me into the person that I am today, what shaped me into the woman I am right now, my parents were never home. They were always working. My brother raised me. It's because of him. He protected me the best that he could. He taught me to be fearless in anything that I do. Don't listen to anybody. And he believed in me. So if you have some deep appreciation for the person that I am, you can thank him. I'm a female version of him. From the way I fight to the way I love, female version of him. And that's why it's so important for me to do whatever I can to really just show how much gratitude I have, how much gratitude I have for him. This is a man who basically gave up his life for our other sibling. Years ago, our other sibling went in for a regular procedure. It was open heart surgery, yes, but it was a regular procedure they do day in and day out. And he got out of that perfectly fine. And before he was discharged, something happened and he almost died. He was in a coma for months. He went from bodybuilder size to the size of Mary Kate and Ashley. He was about 80 something pounds by the time he woke up. And that entire time, that sibling was in the hospital. Jose was there. He didn't leave. I bought him a cot to stay in the ICU with our other sibling who was in a coma the entire time. And every day the staff would tell Jose to talk to our family to begin planning our sibling's funeral. And every day he fought for our sibling until finally he woke up. And after he woke up, it was Jose that was changing all his diapers, washing his ass because that sibling didn't want the nurses to do it. And after he was well enough to be sent home, Jose gave up his life. It destroyed his marriage. He lost his job and his house. But none of that mattered so long as he took care of family, because that's what family does. And he deserves the same kind of love. He deserves the same kind of devotion. And he shouldn't have to ask for it. He shouldn't have to beg for it. When there's a need and someone gives so freely like that, they should receive the same in return. And he's done so much for so many people. When all of this first began, we keep ourselves very separate publicly. I don't associate with his social media. He doesn't associate with mine. We keep very, 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 very private our connection. And then people knew we were siblings. And so many people messaged, like, so many people messaged, and they were like, "Do you know how amazing he is?" And I was like, I know. I know. He's amazing. I know." But it's just it felt good to see with my own eyes that as much as he tries to put this, like, whatever image it is, there's so many people who see beyond that, see the truth of his heart, his integrity. They see the beauty of his soul. A lot of his shamanic abilities are activating. A lot. A lot of his gifts are going full active because of all of this, all these stuff, all these things that he has been experiencing. It's actually impressive. The things he's sharing with me, I'm like, "That's fucking badass. I can't do that shit." Yeah, like, I don't know if he's okay with me saying this, I don't care. He can move things with his mind. I was like, "Why can't I do that?" Like, it makes my head hurt. Why can't I do that? Yeah, he can do a lot of shit, like, a lot of shit. I'm just like, I'm curious where this is going to go. It's just a lot, a lot. He's healing, but at the same time struggling so deeply. That's why I say, like, it's such a difficult period, but there's still so much to be so thankful for, so many things to celebrate. Like, I can't just sit and cry all day because there are so many things that are coming from this that require our celebration. He's finally getting to a point where he's allowing himself to be vulnerable to a certain degree. 99% at 9:59. That vulnerability is beautiful. Like watching him talk to the medical staff that comes in and checks on him. Um, the most common thing that I hear them say, "You don't realize how sick you are." You'd be like, "Nah, nah, let's not talk about negative stuff. I'm gonna get better." And the entire time he makes jokes, tries to entertain them, asks them if they've eaten. Like, bruh, are you gonna cook them something? It's just, I don't know. I don't know. You guys, thank you for sharing this space with me. Thank you for thank you for holding me when I feel the most vulnerable. I wasn't gonna go live tonight just because, like I said, it's just too hard to talk about stuff. And then Michael was like, "What are you doing? You're being obnoxious." And I'm like, "No, people are tired of hearing about this." And he's telling me, "You never talk about it. You talked about it one time and then it disappeared." And then he said that it's foolish of me to be afraid of the very hands that hold me when I'm most fragile. And that's why I came live. I just really appreciate you guys a lot. I just really, really appreciate you guys. For your presence more than anything. Yes, the donations help. They do. But the fact that you guys empower me in the way that you do, you make it possible for me to continue pushing forward, to continue having trust and faith and all of that. You guys make it very, very possible. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you guys. So, right now, I gotta go FaceTime him. It's time for his medicine. Uh, you guys, do me a favor. He's gonna be so irritated. Send him a message on Instagram. It is, what is his Instagram? Hold on. Let me find it. I don't know it by heart. Um, BBJ underscore recovery 209. BBJ underscore recovery 209. Go message him. Go message him and tell him, hey. It's BBJ underscore recovery 209. So I gotta go. I better go check on him and make sure he does his medications. Again, thank you guys so much for sharing this space with me. Please continue to share his link for his GoFundMe. The GoFundMe title is Fight and the number 2 Live BBJ. If you guys want to purchase things so he can get the commission, that CBD line, y'all are like, how the fuck has this girl managed to make it seem like everything is okay? Okay. That's how. That's how. Okay. We've been mega dosing this bitch. Yeah, that's how. It's helped tremendously. Not to numb what's going on, but to help me stay grounded and fully present as I go through this with him. So I love you guys. I gotta get going. I'll come live again tomorrow to do readings and all that. Back